Thursday, the 28th of July, and today it's a really special show for us here because after 10 years of laughter, tears and the odd verbal fisticuff, today we say goodbye to a woman who's just absolutely at the heart of the show. We're saying goodbye to Coleen Nolan.
Woo! Woo! Sorry.
And sending her off in style alongside me today, Kate Thornton, Sherry Hewson. Having just made it in from one of her debauched nights out last night, there she is. Look, Denise Welsh! Well, you all right?
Oh, no. Don't even look at me.
I know, I can't. There's been tears today already.
Makeup love me.
You OK?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Gonna go on a smile?
Yeah.
Yeah. OK, well, we've got two of your all-time favourite guests joining us a little later. In the Loose Lounge, we've got two strapping chaps to help today's proceedings along. Oh, boys, pull yourself together. It's John Barrowman and Brian Connolly. Boys, pull yourselves together, seriously. I think you just blew a mic. And I'm sure that didn't come out quite right either. We'll see you later, boys. Oops. OK, Coleen, are you ready to get this? Your final show after a decade, well and truly on the road.
Absolutely, let's do it.
OK. We're sending you off with a survey, babe.
Brilliant. Love a good survey.
In today's papers, apparently a whopping 76% of women have sex when they're not in the mood, just so they can burn off calories. And a further 87% say that sex is the most enjoyable way for them to lose weight. With women say that they would be more inclined to indulge in exhaustive sex sessions, even after a long day, it seems that how our body shapes up in the bedroom is still at the forefront of our minds. So do we find that gaining weight is a concern when it comes to our sexual confidence? And obviously, Sherry, you and I have nothing to say on this.
Absolutely nothing. Well, I have to say, I don't know. I mean, surely to burn off how many calories? 86 calories. You'd have to be going at it some while. How many can you burn off in 2 minutes, Kate?
They say that...
All right, love.
Well, it depends if you're still asleep.
Yeah, so it's so no, I don't believe that. I never think, oh, I know, we'll do it tonight because I want to burn off calories. I just think I'll do it tonight, so you shut up.
You know when you sat there with Emmerdale on and you think you're dunking your biscuits and you think, well, I better work these off. Is that ever an incentive?
During, yeah, I like to watch Emmerdale and dunk biscuits while he gets on with it, Kate. To be honest.
What about having a biscuit whilst, you know, burning the calories?
Yeah, fantastic. That's my. No, I don't know who they spoke to on this, but I definitely don't ever think, oh, I know.
I've never met any woman that's ever said, oh, I'm going on a diet, can't wait to get home for a bit of jiggy jigs. I'd rather stand on one of those plate things that shake like that because they're ace. Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it said there's something like you burn about 8 calories on dressing. I think I probably burn off more when I hear Tim come upstairs and I'm going da-la-la, da-la-la, da-la-la. So you can get into bed really quickly.
And you're asleep.
But also, I think that maybe in the early days of a relationship, when you're kind of going at it a bit more, but put it this way, I've been married 22 years and never lost weight till I gave up skating, so that shows how much I've been at it.
Well, the adrenaline's burning when you meet somebody, isn't it? Everything's on fire.
Well, get yours on fire again. Get yours on fire.
All right. All right.
On the Orient Express.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's imminent, Sherry. We could get you know, your coal fires burning.
Well, you could.
And if you come off like this, we'll know what you've been doing.
But the thing is, in earlier years, when I was with somebody a long time ago, they were obsessed with thin women, and in fact, it made me very, very paranoid about my body. So I became to see. I just when I looked in the mirror, I could just see a fat person. I still see that fat person today. So I've not really recovered from that. But nowadays, I don't look in the mirror nowadays anyway. But if I had to do it. Now...
You had to open your china cabinet.
Yes, and bring out the Minton. I would actually...
What?
The Minton.
What's a Minton?
You don't want to know.
Minton is a very posh, well, sugar bowl or... Then now, someone, Sherry, show us your Minton.
Get your Minton out for the boys.
I would have... in the dark now. Or in a wardrobe, that'd be exciting. Yes. Or on top of the wardrobe. Or inside the cabinet with my Minton.
See what you're going to miss?
I'm going to miss this show.
Don't know about you, but I'm giving up sugar. Now, as you know, on the subject of your Minton, back in May we launched a competition to find our friend Sherry Hewson here a man. Now, last week, Sherry speed dated 6 men live here in the studio and picked 3 of them to accompany her on a date, a second date, to one of her favourite places, London Zoo. Yeah. Don't ask. Now, we want you at home to pick the man that you think should win the ultimate prize, and that is lunch with Sherry on a hot date on the Orient Express. So, should it be John? Should it be Lawrence? Or should it be Terry? You can go to the Loose Women website where you can cast your vote and look at the exclusive extended footage of Sherry's 3 dates. You'll need to be over 18 to vote, and you've got until 1 o'clock on Friday the 29th of July when the poll will close. We're going to be announcing the winner shortly after that. OK, time for a break, but when we return, he's handsome, he's dashing, and he's here to please. Lucky you, Cole. John Barrowman's with us. We're back soon. Loose Women. Now, according to research, boys called Isaac, Oliver or Jake are most likely to be mummy's boys, with a study of 3,000 women with children aged between 3 and 16 revealing that those with the trendy names are more prone to go running to mum in times of crisis. A spokesman for the research said boys can love their dads dearly, but it's natural to run to their mum because they can be the ones who are a little bit softer on their sons. So the relationship with the dad can be just as strong and special, but more playful rather than one of safety and comfort. So do you think it should be a mother's job to ensure their son doesn't turn into a stereotypical mummy's boy?
Well, I've got Matthew and Louis. I don't know whether they come under poor Jake. His little face there. Colleen's Jake. Oh, Jake. When you say mummy's boy, it does kind of conjure up Ronnie Corbett in Sorry. Do you remember that sort of thing? Yeah. So, but he's not all like Ian Lavender in that thing. Yeah. But no, my boys. It's funny because when I'm away, I've got obviously a 22-year-old Matthew and a 10-year-old Louis. And when I'm away, which I sometimes have to be a lot, you obviously have that mother's guilt, don't you, being away? And mine is normally for Louis because he's 10. But actually, I've realised latterly that I think it's Matthew that misses me more. Even if I then walk in and he goes off to do his band stuff and I don't then see him for 3 days, it's just the fact that I'm back there. Yeah. He has a great relationship with his dad, but it's different to his relationship with me. He's very, he does wear his heart on his sleeve a bit, Matthew, but I think that's more nature rather than nurture, do you know what I mean? And he just, I mean, he takes a mickey out of me all the time, says that I drink too much, says I party too much, says I fancy his friends and all that, you know,
that's
but he's
not
still...
taking the mickey, that's
the truth. Yes. And your point is...
Yeah. That's why we love you.
But he still comes to me in that sort of mummy role. Louis much more manipulative, shall we say. He'll sort of play one of us against, you know, against the other. But I think it is important for a mum to sort of set them up for the real world. Obviously, I don't do washing or cooking for any of the families, so that doesn't, you know, come into it. They'll never say that's like my mum used to make, and they'll never go, Mum, that's my washing, because it'll still be there a week later. So. Unlike
I
you...
have to say, no, me and my Jakey... I love the fact I can embarrass him even on my last show. No, we aren't really, really close, but I think the term, like you say, mummy's boy, you think of wimpy and a bit, you know...
Dependent.
Yeah, and a bit dependent. No, they're both very independent, both the boys. But I do think, you know, if they've got problems, they would definitely come to me.
Is there a difference with your relationship with them than with Kira?
I mean, obviously, Kira's still only 10. I mean, Kira still comes to me and goes, oh, don't tell Dad. They're always scared of, you know, that always works. Or I'll tell you, Dad,
well, no,
and then they'll stop doing
the ogres that they are.
But I think Kira, from an early age, was more independent. And like you say, I mean, Shane is, you know, he's off travelling and all that at the moment, working. But then he'll be the one that'll phone me and go, when are you coming home, Mum? When are you home? And I always think, God, he's 22 and he really missed me. And then I get home and see 2 bin bags of washing by the... And as I walk in, he goes, what's for tea?
But a lot of it is about, you know, blurring the lines between closeness and dependency. I think your boys are very close to you, and they have an emotional narrative with you, which is really nice. I think the perception of mummy's boys, and I have dated a few, it's a bit of a turn-off when somebody can't, you know, stand on their own 2 feet and they can't function without their mother's kind of, you know,
Say
advice
so, and
or you know.
Is that when the man marries their mother then, you know, and you say, oh, he married his mother? Is that why? Because they want that woman to wash and cook and clean like their mother did? Do you think that's where that saying comes, oh, you like to marry your mother?
Maybe.
I guess it does. But, I mean, I mean, my Oliver he's very dependent on Keely in the sense of it's the emotion. And because they listen, women listen, and men don't tend to listen, do they? They'll go, oh, go, do what you want. Women will sit there and kind of nurture and like you just
with the
said.
emotional side as well, they're not as adept at dealing with it, are they, if they've got sons?
No, but I think girls are the same, though. I mean, you know, Keely needs me
to gravitate to the dads, though, a lot more, don't they, do you think?
Well,
in some
Keely
cases.
No,
but I
Keely
suppose if you're a
didn't.
single parent, that's maybe different as well, isn't it? Because that's why you two were so close.
Yeah, well, I wasn't when she was very young, but she still gravitated towards me because I would listen and I would nurture and I would cuddle, you know, and men don't do a lot of that, do they, really? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You've not had a man for a long time.
Thank you, Coleen. Lester, you're going to hurt me.
Don't
that's
talk
very
about
good.
her Minton, all right? Just leave the Minton alone. It's competition time.